Welcome to Nintendo Dads episode 519, recorded on March 13th, 2025. In case anybody's paying attention, that means it's 313 day, and that means something for me in Detroit. So on this week's episode, we talk about some news we have with the World Video Game Hall of Fame, Niantic selling off their gaming stuff, and Nintendo opening up a store in San Francisco. Jesse, you know what to do. Well, Jesse, it's just you and me again today. Every now and then we get to do one of the Jesse and Tim show, right? And this is one of those weeks we get to do it. I actually wasn't expecting to be on because I was out at a basketball game, but just worked out to where I was coming home early from that basketball game. It was a Pistons game, thus the reason why wearing the 313 Pistons hat if you're watching. And then it is also here in Detroit, we celebrate March 13th with 313 Day. And so we went to a place to where there was we got a discount because of some of the things that they were selling for dinner was a 313 special. So it was really cool. So I had a good day.
Yeah, one of the people I worked with mentioned 313, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means. So
It's Detroit's area code is 313, so that's why we make a big deal out of March 13th. It's 313. Okay. So just like there's Mario Day, which we got to celebrate a little bit of, we got Detroit's 313 Day. So
kind of a little random.
A
random Jesse, celebration.
How was your day, sir? How was your week since the last time you were on the show?
Yeah, still up and down. This week at work has been pretty busy. The prototype that I did last week was liked by senior management, and they said get this in as soon as possible. So I have a few finishing touches to do and tomorrow, and I plan on having it into testing. So
nice.
We can plan on having it released the last week of March.
Congratulations.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, well, let's get this show started. We've been doing all kinds of other stuff. Let's talk about some video games. All right, the news is brought to you by our Patreons over at patreon.com/NintendoDads. Huge thanks to all our Patreons who help us create more great Nintendo Dads content and for making our community a better place, including our news Patreons that we get throughout the couple weeks that we've been doing this. And we may not have any, but we haven't been able to check. So, but we appreciate everybody who's been a Patreon for however long you've been doing it. Especially, we appreciate everybody who helps, subscribe there, because it allows us to be able to go to this PAX East thing that we're doing. So myself, Jesse, and Justin are all going. We're all bringing various people with us. I don't know if Jesse is or not, or Justin is or not. It doesn't sound like it is because there's a lot of stuff going on his side.
He's going solo.
He's going solo, but you and I have got family coming along, so that's going to be
fun. My family has friends that will be joining them, so
yes,
we might have extra people for dinners.
Right. So originally it was just going to be me and Sam, but now my daughter's coming along too. So that'll be fun. And it'll be a good, I guess it's just going to be hang out with Dad with the Nintendo Dads time for that time. So it'll be fun. I think it's because too, they missed out. They wanted to really go to New York, but we just kind of made it a Nintendo Dad thing. So this time around, they're hoping for it. And my wife's going to hang back with my mom, and hopefully there's no trouble while I'm gone. Wives and in-laws, so sometimes that goes.
Fingers crossed.
All right, let's talk about a little bit about the news that we have, Jesse. We got a few things to talk about. What do you want to start with this week?
let's start with the Video Game Hall of Fame. Apparently, that news dropped last week just before we started recording, but I didn't see it, so missed it. So I added it to notes this week.
It's a good time to talk about it. So, because you and Roger all had a good discussion about stuff last week. So you guys are
Yeah,
pretty focused on a lot of different things to get kind of
yeah,
into Roger's head, thinking about everything Nintendo. So,
yeah. This is a
uh,
good filler news item for a slow news week.
right. So World Video Game Hall of Fame's 2025 nominees are Age of Empires, Angry Birds, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, Defender, Frogger, GoldenEye 007, Golden Tee, Harvest Moon, Mattel Football, NBA 2K, Quake, and Tamagotchi. It's quite a list there.
Yes, a few of those things I think are still too new to really be considered for a Hall of Fame, like
Okay.
Golden Tee, uh, NBA 2K, and Angry Birds probably are
Too
pretty
new.
still too new.
Okay.
But the one of these things actually, these items actually hits home a little bit, because I had one of these when I was a kid. So if I were to pick two items from this list to vote for, I would vote for Mattel Football.
I was gonna
The
say it was probably that one.
It's a little handheld football device where there's like three rows of 8, 10, or 12 LEDs
Yeah.
that would turn on, and that was your football man, and
Yes.
the whole game is played off of just those. And the
Nice.
other one would be Tamagotchi.
That's a good pick.
And if I had an honorable mention or a runner up, I would go with Frogger.
Okay. That's a good list. I think I those were the first two that jumped out to me, but I mean, as far as age goes, if we were to go by seniority, probably Frogger and or Defender on this list. Next. But I was actually looking at Age of Empires for the PC and thought that would be a good honorable mention. But I agree with the Mattel football and the Tamagotchi. I think those are two great
Oh, that actually
potential wins
surprises
there.
me. I thought I would be the only person to pick those.
No, I think that deserves a good discussion in the Hall of Fame because of obviously Mattel football for the handheld aspect of being able to play on the go, and then even Tamagotchi and what that did with the craze behind that, and everybody who had that to keep their Tamagotchi alive and all that fun stuff. It had its moments. It had its time in the timeline.
Yep.
So yeah, I agree with that. And no fights here. Um, and I do agree some of those might be a little bit too new, but yeah, like I said, honorable mentions or possibilities. Age of Empires, I think, is good because there's a significant. It was a big deal for me when that was one of my first PC games that I got to play when I bought my first computer. So for me, it'd be kind of biased on that. And then GoldenEye obviously is another possible good one too because of what that did for Nintendo and the four-player scene, local scene there.
Yeah. Yeah. Antonio says Frogger for sure.
Gotcha. Yep, that's good stuff. All right, so we got a couple other items. We got Niantic sells their gaming division to Scopely, makers of mobile games including Monopoly Go. And what does this mean for Pokemon Go, Pikmin Bloom, and their other games? That means that Scopely has them all, right? So I guess
Yeah.
we were talking about that in the Discord, or you guys were talking about what could possibly happen. Maybe for the better that Scopely's got it, because Niantic has seemed to kind of lost interest, it seems, and not doing a very good job with Pokemon Go.
Yeah. I think, Pokemon Go has been going downhill for the last few years, because they put in changes as a pandemic response, and people liked those changes. And then when they started rolling them back, the players like, no, 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 no. I like it the way it is. Don't touch it. And then so they did roll back some of the changes. They didn't roll back all of them. They made they limited remote raids to so many per day, and they almost doubled the price of remote raid passes.
Mm.
Uh, they kind of completely screwed up the character models. I liked the original models, and then they decided to make a change to make them more customizable, but they just look like potatoes.
Mm.
So, I,
Okay.
in fact, for a while, I didn't stop playing, but I stopped giving them money for probably almost a year.
Okay. Mm. Yeah, that would make me stop too. Why? Wonder why they didn't. I mean, I don't know if it would have fragmented the community too much, but and it's probably why they wouldn't do it. But why didn't they just make like a Pokemon Stay, and then have Pokemon Go, two different games that do two different things?
I don't know. Yeah, but so I'm hoping that this has a chance to turn the game around. It also has a chance of making it more microtransaction-y and making
Okay.
the game worse. So I kind of don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they this will be a good a history lesson, I guess, for video games, video games. See what happens with this. If Scopely can improve upon it and bring new subscribers, there might be a dip, but maybe they give it enough time to bring it back up. And we'll see. Or maybe they drive it into the ground, and then you know, it'll
Yeah,
be one
because
we talk about for years in the future.
one of the things that I didn't like what Niantic did was in some of the tasks that they want you to do to get rewards.
Yeah.
It's like get a 3D, basically they want you to make a video of the area around the landmark that is a Pokestop or a gym
Okay.
so they can kind of build a 3D model of the area based on that. In many cases, not a big deal. But if it's like a school or a park or a church, that's creepy.
Mm,
And, so I never did those missions.
okay.
And so hopefully those go away.
Yeah.
They
Interesting.
may have gone away and I haven't noticed, but I normally, whenever they came up, I normally ignore them.
That's a good point. It can seem very creepy. All right. Well, that's going to be interesting. Again, we'll keep an eye on that stuff in the news, and certainly we'll
Yeah,
be talking
so
about it.
they're already having plans for the Pokemon Go Fest, which would be its ninth anniversary now. This it'll reach their ninth anniversary this
Okay.
year. So we'll find out if the game improves or not at that point, and then at that point, I may decide to stop playing or not. If it does kind of start getting worse. At least for the short term, I don't think we're not going to see any changes. We'll see the splash screen change from Niantic to Scopely, and that's pretty much it for at least a month. Probably it'll be late April, May before we start seeing any changes.
Okay. Well, keep us in the loop, Jesse. 'Cause I don't play any of those games anymore, so I won't be able to tell you. But
Yeah,
we'll also keep an eye on it
I
in the news
I
too.
dabbled with Pikmin Bloom, but I think that lasted a week at most.
Right. Yeah. If anything significant happens, I'm sure we'll see it in the news, so we'll keep
Yeah,
an eye on that too.
yeah, and what Niantic is focusing on now is like AI mapping. So all that map data that they were collecting with the scans that I previously talked about, that wasn't just busy work for the sake of giving us busy work. They were collecting data, and
Yeah.
starting to analyze it, and that's kind of what their business is focusing on now.
Perfect. Thanks for updating that part. I forgot about that part as to why they were selling that off. So
I
yeah.
forget what their what the new company name is. It's Niantic something, but really doesn't
Okay.
really matter anymore.
Right. So yeah, if you start up your game and you don't see Niantic anymore at the beginning and it's now Scopely, you know why. So, Jesse, we have
Yep.
a new Nintendo store, it sounds like, opening up in San Francisco on May 15th.
Yeah,
Are
this
we go
came in as a press release, and I kind of caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting this.
That was, I think that was my prediction last year, is that we would get a new Nintendo store. Why are they doing this to me?
They heard your rumor, and they said, "Oh no, we have to wait now."
We'll have to wait for the launch of it. So, but that's cool. Another Nintendo store. We talked about this before. Why isn't Nintendo opening up new stores in other locations, especially across America type of thing? Instead of just being New York and you can't even go to the one in Redmond, so that doesn't count, right? That's
Yeah, that
employees
that
only.
one's yeah, that's on staff only. So this new one's in San Francisco. I don't think we said that yet.
Right. Yep.
And then
Um,
opening May 15th.
yep. I did say those things.
Okay, I knew you said the date. I don't remember. Didn't remember if you said the city.
It's good. It's good to repeat it though. So if anybody lives in the San Francisco area, or if we can get Kit and Krista on, I'm sure they'll be visiting and we can ask them questions. But if you live in that area, you'll have to let us know what it's like. Send us pictures. Chat about it in the Discord. We'd love to hear about it. When are we going, Jesse? When are we gonna go hit that store?
I don't know. If I have no current plans to going to San Francisco.
All right. All right, fair enough. We'll have to figure out something. It'll be a couple of years down the line, maybe. So I wonder how far that is from the Universal, the Super Mario Land in California.
I don't know. I'll see if I can figure it out.
Because that'd be interesting. Although the Epic Super Mario World in Orlando they do have a store that's outside of the park that you can go to on their boardwalk.
So the Universal Studios is in Hollywood, so it's near LA.
Okay,
So now what's the distance between Los Angeles and San Fran?
probably a couple hours, I'm guessing.
Um,
I've never been to San
about a
Francisco.
about a 6 hour drive.
Oh, I'm way off. All right, that's like from where I live to Chicago, if I wanted to go to
Yeah, it's just
Chicago.
like yeah, San Francisco is kind of middle of the state, and then LA
Okay.
is near down to the southern of the state.
Shows how much I know about San Francisco.
I didn't know that either.
All right. Good to know. 6 hours from LA. That's a nice long road trip there. That'd be fun. I like road trips. So cool. So Nintendo San Francisco to open on May 15th. Can't wait to hear about that some more. Well, I'm sure they'll post pictures about that and probably maybe have some social media pages open like the New York store has.
Yep,
So that'd be cool. All right. Other things in the news? Anything else that you captured? Anything else you want to talk about, Jesse, before I jump into releases and updates?
that's all I had.
All right. Well, a couple things that caught my eye in the releases and updates coming up that we might have mentioned already before, but just wanted to, just in case, somebody might have missed it. Out now, or by the time you're listening to this, if you're listening to the recording, is Neva Deluxe. Should be in the stores to pick up a physical version of that game. A lot of people liked it and it rated pretty high. MLB The Show 25 is also should be out to pick up around that time you're listening to this.
And On Your Tail is also released today.
Okay.
We didn't get that added to the notes, but that's a game I'm interested in, and uh,
Are
for
you looking at your list?
yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, that if, when I we're waiting to see if I get a code, if we get a code for that. If not, then I'll buy it and I'll probably do a stream of it this weekend.
Awesome. That's cool. All right. So everybody keep an eye out on that for a first look on that or stream. Then out soon is of course Xenoblade Chronicles X on March 20th. So coming up next week. So looking forward to that. I probably won't dive into that game, but I'll probably do a first look of it if we get a code for that, especially. But I did pre-order the physical version because I have all the other ones physical. I was like, I have to get this one physical as well. So, and then there's also Picross S Doraemon and F Characters Edition. Did you know about this coming out on March 26th?
I did. I saw the trailer to that when it dropped yesterday. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
familiar a little bit with Doraemon, but I don't know about any of the other characters in his franchise. So I'm sure that I'll pick it up and play it over time. But I'm still working on the the Grimoire one, and I have
Okay.
the Pixel Cross that came out a few weeks ago on to play after that. So I've got plenty of Picross to come.
Nice. Yeah, one of the games that my wife goes back to, and I called it her comfort food, is Hexseed. I know you played that too.
A little
She
bit,
goes
yeah.
back to, she goes back to that game a lot, and right now she's trying to get all of the. She's going back through and trying to get all the difficulty things, or all the. She was showing me all the different activities you have to do, or whatever, to get a perfect, or to get it extreme check mark or something. So, uh,
Extreme.
yeah, exactly. Extreme Hexseed. Ah! And then out later is the Star Overdrive, which comes out April 6th. Do you remember this game, Jesse? We saw this one where it was basically a guy and a base or a person actually on a surfboard. So I'm not sure if it's a person or a I'm not sure of the gender. We'll put it that way. So Star Overdrive, April 6th, we were kind of like on the surfboard going through.
Yeah, this one doesn't ring a bell.
It looks really cool, but I don't exactly know I don't know what the gameplay is exactly, is what I'm trying to say, other than the surfboard part. But it looks really cool. So it caught my eye and I thought I'd bring it up in case it might have caught other people's eye as well. It comes out April 6th. There are plenty of other games coming out too, but that's all I could grab to try to while I was waiting for my computer to reboot. So, did anything else catch your eye, Jesse?
I didn't think so.
All right. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel for other first looks of some of the latest releases as we get them. Either we get codes from other companies or if we buy them ourselves. So keep an eye out there for that and all that other fun stuff. And is there anything you want us to look at too? You can leave a comment here on the podcast and we'll try to take a look. All right, Jesse, let's discuss. All right, Jesse, I came across something and I was reminded because my wife shared a video with me too about it. And I talked to my daughter about this earlier and I want to talk about it some more. And it
Sure.
seems like Xbox has a new direction that they're going lately, not just the Xbox everywhere direction, but the PC console direction, which is does that make any sense to you by me just saying PC console?
Well, yeah. Although I heard that they're looking at releasing a handheld PC, like similar to a Steam Deck, and the ROG Ally, and however other many
Legion
clones of those
Go.
are out there.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe even by the end of this year.
Yes. That is the thing that we've heard. I think it's not even a rumor anymore, is it anymore? I think it was confirmed by Xbox that they were going to release something at the end of the year.
They didn't say what though, but they did
They were
say
going to
that
release something. Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And they're people are talking about they're hoping for like a $500 price point on it,
Yeah, and it's so the
which
I
is
guess
about Steam. Deck-ish, I think.
I didn't put this under the rumors because it's more of a lot of rumblings that it is going to be a handheld and that the Xbox alarm clock, Darth Platypus said.
Right.
uh, but it's supposed to be not only Xbox, Game Pass stuff, but it will also do all what the other PC gaming handhelds do, which is access Steam Deck, access Steam, access Epic, access whatever else is out there in regards to being able to play your games on. It's basically going to be a Windows machine, just like the other ones, not the Steam Deck. Obviously, that's Linux,
Right.
but the other Windows-based gaming machines.
Well,
However, this
any
one
game
is
that
going to,
so any game that runs on Windows could play on it. May not be playable well, but you could try
but
to
that's the
run it.
thing. That's the thing. From what they're saying, or what the rumblings are, is that Windows, the Xbox version, will have a version of Windows that will be more efficient with games.
Yeah, and I'm sure the games, I think the Steam Deck does the same thing. Like, if it detects it's on a Steam Deck, it kind of sets the sliders in a certain way to best run on the system. I
Right.
would expect Microsoft to have some sort of template out there to do something similar
Well, the
with
other thing,
games that they're going to support.
is that Valve is helping. They're on board with this, from what
Oh,
I've read. Yeah, that's why this is all blowing up. It's like Valve is like, "Yep, we know about this." So how are they
well,
helping?
yeah. Again, Valve doesn't care where you play the game as long as you
Yeah,
buy their software.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, yeah, it's going back to, I think they also had, it wasn't a Windows machine, but it was Valve allowing Legion or Lenovo, I think it is, to make a Steam Deck like device with the was it the Lenovo Go S or something like that. So there's all these handhelds that are coming out, but this one is supposed to be a bigger deal because of Xbox allowing, basically just taking a gaming laptop, essentially putting it in the handheld, but even taking it a step further than what we already seen in the market, which is Xbox making Windows more gamer friendly in a handheld form.
Yep,
So that's going
makes
to be
sense.
what's interesting. We find out if this all comes to fruition towards the end of the year. And the other big deal about that is because of PlayStation having their exclusives on PC will now be playable on this Xbox device.
Yep.
So it's like, and that's what the video my wife shared. It was kind of like a joke. This guy, like, how you see videos where it's like, this is PlayStation talking, this is Xbox talking, this is Nintendo talking, this is Valve talking, but it's one guy or one woman playing all those parts.
Yeah.
This what that was. It was that guy playing those parts talking about, like, hey, I'm Microsoft, or we're doing Xbox, we're doing this, this, and this, and PlayStation's over here like, oh, well, you're not getting our exclusives, and they're like, well, actually, we are. So yeah, so I am actually pretty excited about it. Will I buy it? I don't know, because we already have the Switch 2 coming out. I got an Xbox Series S that's sitting on my shelf, and I don't do much with that already. So, but I love mobile technology, so I'm very intrigued by this news. What do you think, Jesse?
Yeah, I'm like you. I have no interest in this. I didn't have interest in the Steam Deck or any of the others because I have a good PC to play games on, and as soon as I finish building it, I'll have a better one. Uh,
Right?
yeah, and I don't even play Switch handheld hardly anymore. You
Yeah.
know, I might do some Picross in bed before uh, a few times a week before going to sleep, but other than that, it's always docked on a TV.
Yep.
So playing a Windows game portably has really no interest to me.
Well, what I've learned too is that even though I got a really good deal on the PlayStation Portal, I hardly still use that. because it's right now I'm just too busy. I hardly have time to finish Xenoblade 3, as we'll talk about later. So, and now I'm on the
Yeah,
last
and
chapter.
even that I didn't buy, even though it was probably a reasonable price at $200
Yeah,
for that. Yeah, that was a good price point, and
yeah,
I almost thought about it, but nope, never did.
yep. It's basically if I once I finish Xenoblade and try to figure out what my next game is going to be. And again, we'll talk about what we've been playing later, but I really want to try Astrobot, so I might use it there. And I do have New Year's resolution to try to finish at least one PlayStation game this year. So, uh,
Yeah, I never even finished the Astro's Playroom,
okay,
so I didn't think I'd. So I'm curious about Astrobot. Obviously, it looks fun, but I just
right.
don't think I'd be able to sit down and play it that through the whole game if I never finished Playroom.
Yep, that's what it comes down to lately for us. Seems like having to find the time to be able to play games. But again, we'll talk about, you know, in my case later when we talk about what we've been playing. Um, and finding time for games even on PC, which we'll talk about in just a minute too. Well, actually, speaking of PC, let's talk about my timeout. Let's go into timeout mode. So Jesse, talking about the PC, you said you're building one. Um, and how close are you to finishing yours?
Um, I think I'm pretty close. I'm waiting for. Um, I want to have a RAID array of four NVMe in the enclosure, and then set that as a RAID, then plug that into a Thunderbolt port in the PC, and then to see it, it should be seen as like a 11 or 12 terabyte partition. Then that I can save my big data on, and since they're NVMe, it'll be a, a lot faster than my current PC's RAID array, which is built off of five spinning disks that
Okay.
are probably what 7,400 RPMs. So relatively slow. So I'm looking forward to
Nice.
that once I get yeah. So my problem from my build from when I started this build 2 years ago, you know, the original problem was the BIOS only saw two out of the four. Called support. They had me tweak a setting, and then the system wouldn't come up at all. And then they kind of shelved the project.
Yeah.
So I found out that two of those four in VME were bad.
Mm,
So I did buy two replacements and got the system to see all four. Then I found that someone goes, check the warranty. Maybe it might still be good. And apparently there's a 5-year warranty on those. So I returned the two new ones I bought. Then the two that were damaged, I shipped as an RMA to get replaced. And it's been about 2 weeks now, and I'm still waiting for them to ship the replacements. So
okay.
once they come in, I'll build the array. Once the array works, then I can start installing software.
Nice.
Inst- Install the drivers for the 4090. And one of the first things I want to do is I want to play Portal RTX in 4K on a stream,
Nice.
in a 4K stream.
That's gonna be fun to watch. Hopefully I can watch it when you do that. So that'd be cool. I'll have to watch it on my 4K TV too. We only have one 4K TV in this house. None of my monitors are, nothing else I have in this house is the newest TV we
Yeah,
got.
yeah. This computer
I'll have to
has
watch it
two
there.
1080p's. I have two 4Ks that I'll swap
Okay.
them out with.
All right. Yeah, I'll have to watch on there. So, okay, cool. So the reason why I asked that too is because I'm still using this PC I'm on right now that I got in 2018 off the Costco shelf. That's great. I love this PC for what it's done for me and what I bought it for. And it wasn't even just thinking, it was just like I went into Costco. It had great specs on it. It was available for, a really good price. So I picked it up and it's been working ever since. So it's HP mini tower. I can't remember what exactly which brand of HP sub brand or whatever, but yeah, it's been doing great, but it's showing its age. And in fact, I from today, I was like, I'm rebooting, and that was like 9:48 p.m. Eastern time,
It
and I
took
didn't
almost a
get
half an hour to
almost a
be
half an
ready.
hour for me to get on because I'm waiting for everything to start up here. Granted, it is Windows, and I know as it ages and all this stuff going on in the background, I've done lots of things to kind of help with the hard drive and all that fun stuff, but it's time. Plus,
Yeah,
this is still on Windows 10, and it can't upgrade to Windows 11. So I've been looking left and right. That's why I'm very interested in the handhelds, or was very interested in handhelds, because I was thinking about getting a gaming handheld, but I was concerned about the other elements that I do with my desktop, that it would just be sitting there anyways on a desk docked anyways.
yeah. The computer I used to have in my arcades, would take 20 to 30 minutes before it was usable on boot. I last month I did swap that out with a newer machine, running everything off of an NVMe, and it boots in like 30 seconds. I love it.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
And the new main PC replacement, again, it'll be it's a total of 5 NVMe total, one for the OS and the other four and for the RAID, and that boots up in like 20 seconds.
Awesome. So in regards to that, I actually did buy a mini PC. Um, we were talking, I think you and I talked about that briefly before too, because I was looking at the mini PCs, and we know our good friend in the community, Vic, he picked up one of the mini PCs that he uses for his streaming and stuff, and I was
And
looking at
I
those.
showed you a video from ETA Prime last week who was talking about mini PC builds.
Yes, yes. So I can't remember if it was that one, if that's where I learned about this one from, but I got an ad about Minis forum creating a new Minis forum X1 Pro mini PC, and it's got an AMD Ryzen AI 9 AX HX 370 chip, processing chip on it. That's a lot of numbers and letters. So really, it's just 12 cores and 24 threads, up to 80 teraflops or whatever. All that fun stuff. It's basically what I liked about it is it's a good. I think it's a good PC because it has the one I purchased actually has 96 gigabytes of RAM. So I got plenty of RAM. It's gonna have 2 terabytes of SSD
Storage.
M2s. They're M2s actually, not yeah, M2
Yeah,
SSDs.
so they're also NVMe.
Yes, and I can upgrade up to 12 terabytes if I want. So everything is upgradable, and that's what I like because I can also it has a built-in graphics chip that is rated to do well with the basics of what I play in Steam and all that kind of stuff. Because I don't play a lot of high-end stuff on my PC, so I wasn't worried about that. But I can connect an eGPU to it if I decide to buy one of those to get a better graphics card.
Yeah,
And
I think a lot of these internal graphic chips now are kind of along like the equivalent of maybe a 3050,
yeah,
which is,
and,
for a baked in chip, that's pretty decent performance.
yep,
Better than my current 1080.
it's better than whatever I have in this now, and I'm able to still play Steam games that I pick up on here on this 2018 computer. So if I'm still able to run those, I know I'm fine. Plus, again, I can connect an eGPU, an external graphics card to it. And then also it has the ability to stack these mini PCs if I want to and connect with a high speed network that way and just
Yeah.
keep building on the processors. And if I wanted to really go crazy on it.
Yeah. So like when so the MAME emulator that I use in my arcade, they up they try to update it once a month. Normally the last Wednesday of the month. And when I do my builds, I build like four different flavors of it.
Hmm.
So three Windows based, one Mac based, and I distribute them in a separate group. And I help people find ROMs, fills, and whatnot. Uh, my the old machines would take
Hmm.
5 hours to build the three versions of Windows. Uh,
Okay.
uh, the new machine does it in like between 30 and 40 minutes.
Okay. That's
So
cool.
all three versions of it in that time. So I'm like, ooh, this is going to be nice. And then I'm also looking forward to seeing how fast video renders will be when I'm making videos. Of course,
Yes.
doing 4K videos will slow it down a little, but
Right. It's not like we do that all the time. We'd have to do those at special occasions. But yeah, that's what I'm looking
right.
forward
But
to is
but
the speed.
if Switch 2 does up at 4K, then I'll probably be making more 4K videos.
That is also true. So yeah, I'm really excited about getting this. That was the hard part about getting a computer was I made it harder on myself because I just when I got this one, I needed a computer. It was a good price. I got it off the shelf and it worked great. So now in my head, I was like, I need to find that perfect PC that does the same thing again. Get it off the shelf and make it last, a good 8 years. So, but I'm taking a chance on minis forum computers. They've been rated well in other areas of other PCs they've done, mini PCs. So, and this is their newest one that I had to pre-order because it wasn't out yet. So it's the newest, latest, and greatest kind of thing. The other thing I liked about it too, it's uses built-in power, so it doesn't use like the brick on the outside of it, from what I
Oh, it's
understand.
yeah. So got an internal power supply.
Yeah, it uses PD power or can deliver power, PD power, I guess, out. So
Not sure what that is. But,
PD in is 100 watts and PD out is 15 watts. So
oh,
it's
PD in and out. Okay.
yeah. So and it has a bunch of other stuff that I might not even use. Like there's,
Yeah.
it
Well,
does things AI stuff
if you
better.
go external graphics card, you're definitely going to need more wattage
Yes.
because the high-end cards can take 300 watts by themselves.
Yep. Well, and it'll have its own power supply probably. But I like the small form of it, and I'm looking forward to playing around with it too. So I can't wait. I have lots of fun with that. So I'm probably just as excited as you are getting your PC up and running.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to reinstalling all the software and configuring it all, but
Oh
once it
yeah,
is done, it'll be nice.
yeah. Just being Bruce, the co-host of Star Wars Dads, he's in our chat and he says, "I'm shopping for a video processing PC without any money."
That's a challenge.
That is a challenge. So basically what I did is I bought mine and basically I won't be able to buy any video games for a while. So
With the
and
Switch 2 coming, that makes that difficult.
yeah, it depends on when that's coming, but yeah, that's gonna be interesting. So, but I had to get a new PC. It's just like it was one of those things.
Yeah. So, which is why I'm glad that I was able to continue my build from 2 years ago and didn't have to, not all of those parts went to waste. I still had to buy like $1,000 worth of extra parts. Well, I'm trying to remember if that included the two NVMe that I bought and returned or not, but at least $500 in extra parts
Yeah,
in order to get it working the way I want.
yeah, and I knew. I've always been interested in building my own PC, but I knew I wouldn't have the time. Or I would have the time, but something else would fall off. So, and I didn't want to do that. So I just like,
Right.
give me something off the shelf. Give me something pre-built, I should say. So,
Yeah, I think this might be the last time I build a machine. After that, I'll like may cherry pick parts and have someone else build it for me, or go off the shelf and upgrade things.
yeah. There is a cool PC shop that we have nearby us that they build PCs there. And I thought about going there and kind of giving them like, this is what I needed to do type of thing and see what they could build me. But I went with this mini PC, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I was originally wanting to go mini PC with the arcade replacement, but I ended up going with a
Mini tower.
mid-size, yeah, mini tower, mid-size case, which barely fits inside the cabinet.
Yeah,
It's a little bit large. It's definitely larger than the previous PC I had in it.
awesome. What's not awesome is just an or Bruce just also saying that I guess Toys R Us in Canada is shutting down now.
Oh, I didn't even know they were still open.
Yeah, I did because I live close enough to go over the border to go to that, and I took it for
True.
granted. We haven't gone since the pandemic. Now we definitely need to go if that's the case. They're going to be shutting it down. Hopefully we can get over there before they shut down completely.
So, what one line of businesses in our area that's shutting down that my wife's a little upset about is Joanne Fabrics.
Yes. Yep. Same
Because
here.
she makes, because she makes dresses and stuff for her for
Yes.
SCA events. She makes my stuff. She gets commissioned to make tunics and I don't even know the names of half of the stuff that she makes, but she's made other things for other people as well.
Yeah.
And while the fabric that sells, she normally orders from online because it's like a lot of their fabric is polyester stuff, but
Okay.
still, it's handy for her to get threads, small items,
Yeah.
patterns. In fact, I got her $100 gift card for Christmas this year, and not knowing that they were shutting down,
Yeah.
and they're like, so she had to use up her gift card by the end of this month, otherwise it would go to waste.
Yeah. So did she get a bunch of clearance stuff or, going on business sales stuff?
She used it before the clearance time because at the time that store wasn't going to close,
Oh.
but they still had to, end gift card acceptance at the end of the month. But
Hmm.
now, since then, I think they said everyone is closing.
Okay. Yeah, my ever since they announced it here, my wife and daughter have gone there a couple times to try to pick up stuff for their crafts that
Half
they
the
do
times
too.
that I try to go to pick something up for her, it's closed anyway because they can't keep staff.
Mm.
So it's a rough business.
That is, that is. Do you guys have a Hobby Lobby?
Yeah, it's not a place we normally go to. Not for any particular reason. It's just she preferred Joanne's just because it was
Right.
closer.
I was just saying, though, now that Joann's going to be closed, maybe Hobby Lobbies could be a choice for fabric because I think they have a fabric section. So,
Maybe
but
it's been a while since I've been in one, so
yeah, I like their arts supplies. So, drawing supplies, pencils and stuff. So, really, really cool to go there. Don't look at their politics, though. You may not agree with it. So, but
which is why I said not for any particular
for
reason.
not
I'll
any, yeah,
because yeah, I do know about some of their what they have behind closed doors,
yeah,
but it's just that it's just that it's not the closest store. It might be now. I don't know. We'll have to figure
yeah.
that out.
Cool. All right. Um, well, other than our computer builds and store closings, again, I mentioned at the top of the show, today is 313 day here in Detroit. We had a lot of fun celebrating that today, but that wasn't the only reason why we were out. We were out because Sammy was playing basketball with his team at Little Caesars Arena here in Detroit on the Pistons court, which I thought was super cool. I am so jealous that he got to play basketball with his team against another team, and they won today too. So it was really cool. It's the last game they get to do with all the unified sports teams in the area and meet up there, and they get to play on the Pistons court, um, and then later we can stick around and watch the Pistons play. So it was a cool day, and plus being 313 day, we got to go walk around downtown. Again, 313 being the area code of Detroit. This is why March 13th is a big deal for Detroit area. There was at the restaurant we went to had really good sales. It's called Mr. Dips. Not only do they sell really good ice cream, but they sell ice cream shakes with alcohol in it. We didn't have any of that.
Ah,
They sell locally made soda and then smash burgers and waffle fries and that type of food fare there. So it was really good.
fun.
And the other thing too about it too is really cool is Mr. Dips also uses the point of sale system that my company makes. So it was really cool to see that in action. So, but yeah, again, 313. So anybody from the Detroit area who listens, if you are out there, happy 313 day. So I just wanted to throw that out there again. And thanks for letting me rant a little bit about that. All right, let's move on to what we've been playing. Jesse, I'll knock out all of these games I've been playing 'cause most of them are demos. I know, and I wanted to bring up again. I talked about not having time to play Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I did play a little bit, tiny bit, but some of my time did get taken over by playing some of the demos during what do they call it? Steam's Next Fest. They had a bunch of
Yeah.
demos going, and I played a bunch of those demos, and that's why my gaming time was taken up by some of these demos. For example, Beyond the Ice Palace 2. It is a sequel to Beyond the Ice Palace, which is a r really older game. I can't remember which system it's on. I can't remember if it was like Amiga, Atari, Commodore 64, maybe even in television. But there's a sequel that is a Metroidvania
Oh, wow.
type
Yeah, I
game.
just looked it up. Atari ST, Commodore 64, ZX Spectrum, Amiga, Amstrad.
Oh, well, all of those things that I mentioned then.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. 1988.
Yep. It is a sequel to a 1988 game, and it's a Metroidvania game. So I had to try it out, and it actually wasn't bad. It was I can't remember all the details because I played all of these games back to back to try them out in one night. So,
Oh, boy.
uh, but it wasn't bad, and I stopped playing it. I just wanted to get a taste of it and kind of see if this comes to the Switch/Switch 2, would I be interested in playing it? And I think I would be. So I'm gonna try to keep an eye on that if it does come out, or I might just buy it and play it on my new PC and play it there sometime. But it's a little harder to play games there. That's why I was hoping it would come to Switch. A little harder to dedicate time to sitting at my computer, I should say. That's what I'm trying to say is like the time aspect is what's causing me not to have time to play everything I want to play.
Right.
So I also played the demo for Monster Train 2. I think we've talked about this game before. We talk about it in Discord a lot. Monster Train, the first game. It is a roguelike game where you're on a train trying to, at least the first one was about stopping, I think, heaven from taking over your train, going to hell,
Oh,
I
okay.
think. And then the Monster Train 2 is you're stopping the train from go like going into heaven, or you're wanting to go into heaven because heaven is falling apart or something like that, and you're having to go and actually like angels and demons are working together to stop something like these titans, I think, that are trying to take over heaven. If I caught the gist of the story right.
That's an
But
interesting plot.
yeah, so you're on a train, you have to protect the floors of the train before it gets to your pyre, if I am saying that right. Basically the furnace that's operating the train, and you have to prevent the attackers who to get to each floor to reach that pyre from and destroying it. And you get cards at each run that you can use to kind of get better at it. And along the way, you get more cards to help you on your current run. And I played a few runs and got a little farther, but it's a very short demo. And I definitely want to play this when hopefully it comes to the Switch, just like the other one did. So lots of fun. And if you any of that sounded interesting, I think there is a demo for Monster Train on the Switch that you can try as well. Or if you just want to jump into the game and try it out, it's pretty cheap out there too, Monster Train. You can also probably see one of our first looks of that game on our channel. But not Monster Train 2, because that was just me playing around with the demo. All right, the next game I played is Castle versus Castle, which is another, well, actually, I wouldn't say roguelike, but it's a card-based game where you are one castle with a knight fighting another castle with a knight, and you're basically using cards to build up your castle and attack the other castle and make it collapse. The closest thing I could say to this is the game that you play, the side game that you play in Sea of Stars, the
Oh,
Watchtower game.
I didn't like that game. I never could figure it out.
That I actually really liked that game. I can't remember what the name of the game is in the game, but I think it was like Watchtower or Watch something, because the Watch Lady made the game, right? So I can't remember what the Sea of Stars game was, but I really liked it, and it would I would have personally liked it if it was a separate game. But Castles versus Castle is kind of similar, but you're using a deck of cards, and you get more cards that you pull that can that you could play, but you have to build up kind of like in a way of Magic the Gathering. You have to build up mana for each type of card you want to play. There's
Yeah.
different kinds of mana, which is like I don't, and I don't think they call it mana, but this is the best way I could describe it, is basically you build up like your bricklaying skills to be able to build up your castle. You build up your weapon skills to be able to get the best weapon to attack the castle. You build your defense mana for your defense up, then you can build up defense and blockers. So there's different ways of doing that through the cards you get. And sometimes you can't play a card, you just have to wait a turn for that mana to build up. It was pretty fun. Again, it was these are all demos, so they're not complete games. It is something that would be interesting to play some more, but I also think it's possible that unless they make improvements when the actual game comes out, that I might get burnt out pretty quickly on it. So I don't know if there's
Yeah.
any growth in it, because again, the demo only went so far, and I don't know if anything changes along the way to make it more of a challenge or make it different. But it was kind of cool. Uh, Dice with Death is a dice game that you are basically rolling kind of like Yahtzee against death, but you're using different characters who have different buffs that enhance your dice for when you're playing against death, because death also cheats and uses enhancements on his dice as well.
Of course he does.
So as you go through each round with death, you get new enhancements that you can pick up along the way. Again, like a roguelite game. Through the demo, you're allowed to play two characters, and each of those characters has different enhancements. Like one was dealt with poisons, one dealt with extra dice. They call them soldiers. I thought it was very cool, the Dice with Death game, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the actual final game comes out and looks like. Again, these are all games that I picked that I was hoping would come to the Switch eventually. Like I would love to see in an indie direct that they pick up. And then there's Buckshot Roulette, which was not a demo I picked up based on Vic's recommendation in our Discord. It reminds me the aesthetics of the game. I don't know if you've seen this, Jesse. Reminds me of Inscription. Just the setup of
Okay.
everything. At least the first act. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
Uh, I haven't gotten further in Buckshot Roulette to make me think it does anything more like Inscription does, but the aesthetics of that first act in Inscription definitely gives me those feels of Roulette and plays kind of the same where there's somebody across from you in the table. You have a shotgun on the table and you're taking turns at either shooting yourself or shooting at them and hoping that the bullets aren't live or, what do you call it?
In the chamber.
There'll be in there. There's going to be buckshots that are live, and there's ones that aren't. Or they're empty
Blank.
shells, blanks. Thank you. I was trying to think of the word. So, but the nuance of it is it's sitting on the table. You get a quick look at what's going to be loaded into the gun. So it'll flip up a tray of shells, and you can tell by the color black or red what's live, what's blank. Black is blank, red is live, and you might get anywhere from 2 to 8, I think, or 10, somewhere in there. It might be 8, 2 to 8 shells, any number in between those two. That gets loaded up.
So you're playing games of probability.
Yes. So you keep in mind, okay, there's 2 blanks, there's 3 live shells, and he just loaded up and they're random. And then you have to figure out, like you said, probability. But then you also get tools that come up on the table that get switched up that you can use a magnifying glass to be able to cheat and see what's in the chamber. Or you drink a beer and I forget what it's called, but basically when you let the bullet out of the chamber, there's a word for it. I can't remember. But you basically, you drink a beer and whatever was in the chamber comes out and you see what it is. And then again, you got to rethink your probabilities. There's a tool that allows you to change whatever's in the chamber. Like if you use the magnifying glass, see that it's blank, and you have the other tool that allows you to change it to be live, then you can do that. So again, there's some strategy there too with all the tools that you're getting. And then if you get basically with doing all those tools, you get up to 2, in some cases you get 2 chances to survive a shot. So that you got to play it to yourself as well. So if you shoot yourself with a blank, that means you get another chance. So you're playing the probabilities again. Okay, I just shot a blank. How many live ones are left? I'm going to shoot him now. Hopefully that's going to hit him, and he loses one of his 2 electric paddles to bring him back to life.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yes, they're little shock. They're little shocks things. So
Defibrillators.
yes, defibrillators. Thank you. Yes. So you could have up to 2 to 4 defibrillator things to help you come back to life. I made it through. There's 3 rounds per. 3 rounds per. What do you call it? Act. I'll say act. There's 3 rounds per act. I made it to. And then each round has a certain amount of defibrillators that you can have to bring yourself back to life. I made it to the 3rd round, or the 3rd act, excuse me, and died. So I don't know what happens after that. I don't know how many acts there are, but it was very interesting. But it's also very stressful, so I couldn't keep playing that one. So that is, besides that, those were all the things I played over on Steam. I've also been playing Dokapon Kingdom with Shannon and Sam over at Retro Logic. That is basically a Mario Party game with RPG elements. where you go on a board and go around the board and you're trying to kill monsters, collect money from villages that you save from monsters on the board, but you also are trying to prevent your other people on the board from making more money than you from those towns. And then you can do crazy things like they in there, like you can make fun of a person and or bully them, and like they turn my name to Yellow Teeth in the game. So in the Retro Logic Discord channel, I changed my name to the Yellow Teeth as well, just to have fun with that. But it's a fun game. It's Dekapon Kingdom. Um, like again, it's a cross between Mario Party and an RPG, which I thought was really cool. Probably missing some other elements there too, but it's pretty fun. Tetris Forever, I jumped into, like Marty mentioned last week, just to see the new updates. It was pretty cool. I missed the fact that like what they did with Atari 50 though. Like Atari 50, they added more video history, more information about Atari. Where
So
Tetris
expanded. They,
Forever,
they they expanded the documentary part.
yes, where Tetris Forever didn't have anything in this time. They expanded the games, which is really cool. Like for example, I think Marty brought it up was that you could play the Game Boy version of Tetris, but they don't call it Game Boy. They call it 1989 Tetris.
Did
And there's some nuances there that aren't quite,
they tweak the
Game
music?
Boy. I couldn't tell the difference in it. It was close enough to me to be nostalgic enough to be like, oh, this is cool. It feels just like I'm playing the Game Boy,
Okay, because I have
except
a
for the little
feeling that the
nuances.
music's probably also copyrighted. At
Probably.
least
But
that, even though they're probably they're open source music, but their variant they might be able to. I don't know how that works.
it's like I said, I didn't, it was close enough for me because I hadn't played the Game Boy one in a long time. It just was close enough to me feel like it was pretty much the same except for some of the nuances in the gameplay. Still, it was still great if you're a Tetris fan and you want to know more, especially the documentary side, and be able to play the games that they talk about in the documentary, just like the other series gaming games. Tetris Forever should be on your pickup list. New Star GP, played some more of that. That's the racing game. I won't talk about that, but you can see a first look on that. I played some more because our friends over at the 8-Bit Clubhouse has started playing some more of it. So I just was like, hey, I forgot about that game. I'm gonna jump into that, play some more. So it's a fun racing game. I can dive into that another time, especially if I play it some more. And then I did mention Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I did play just a tiny bit of that. I need to get back into that so I can finish off the final chapter. Um, and then cross that off my list. And then I fired up Mother 3 for some reason. I don't know why, but I fired it up on, 'cause I know why. I bought a while ago the Retro ID handheld, and it has games on it. And I
Uh,
never played Mother 3. And so I fired that up and got things set up to start playing that eventually. I didn't fully dive into it, but I want to after I'm done. I decided I'll set it up, I'll get it ready, but I'll jump into it after I'm done with Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So those are the games I've been playing. Sorry, Jesse, that took a longer than I thought it was going to take.
that's right. The Yeah. So I haven't been staying up as late as I used to. I'm trying to go to bed earlier and waking up earlier. So my
Good on you.
that impacts my game time. So really the only game I've been playing is the Picross Logiart Grimoire. I think last time I mentioned I was about halfway through all the puzzles. Now probably closer to 85% now of like I think there's 280 puzzles total, and I think I'm in the 230s or 240s. So
Nice.
I should be able to wrap it up before next week. So that you mentioned Mother 3, it reminds me that I did buy a, a repo cart uh, and never played it. I think I looked for it around my desk. I don't see it, so it might be in one of my old Game Boys. So I still have to find.
Oh, cool.
So I might pick that up at some point. I have just so many other games in backlog. So who knows?
Right. Same here. But I for some reason I was like, oh yeah, I have this game on here. Shout out to Dat Fast for that. Um, also on Retro Logic, so thank you for that. I have this game on there, and because I can't play it elsewhere, I'm playing it here in a language I can understand. Uh, so it is the fan translation version, and I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
checking it out.
the card I have is also the
Yeah,
fan translation.
I kind of figured that when you mentioned it. So that's cool. Yeah, if you do play it, let me know. I mean, it'll be cool to have somebody to talk to about the game.
Yep.
I'll let you know
Eh,
too if I start playing it too. So in
Okay.
case.
Yeah. So really, that's all I've been playing, and I know I have On Your Tail that I'm wanting to get and to play that, and I
That's
also
right. Yeah.
have the Yu-Gi-Oh games that I bought last month and haven't touched yet. So
Yeah. That reminds me, I definitely need to get chapter 7 done. Hopefully I can get it done in this next week so that I'm not going to jump into Xenoblade Chronicles X. At least I don't think I am. But I do want to do a first look at it, and I want to do the first look before or after I'm done with. I want to make sure
yeah,
chapter
that's
7
up
is
next
done.
week, right?
Yeah, that's out next week. So I need to get moving on this. I think I know what I'm going to be doing this weekend if nothing is going to take up, if I have the time. Hopefully I can knock out a big chunk of it. So, all right, that's what we've been playing. Let's go to the community spotlight. All right. Community Spotlight is where we shine the light on our awesome community. As usual, again, we talk about in the news section how we appreciate the Patreons, but we also appreciate everybody else everywhere else who participates or contributes to our community one way or another through the various ways that you can do that, like through listening to our podcasts, going to the Discords, going to YouTube, watching and listening and commenting and subscribing and liking and all those fun things. And thank you everybody who does that for doing all that stuff. So before I jump into this stuff, Jesse, you got something you wanted to say?
No,
Oh, you look like you're ready to say something. So I was like, is there
no.
something you were to say? All right. We have Charlie's Epic Con that we like to remind everybody about because our good friend Jacqueline Amira, who is also our executive producer, is hosting that Epic Con in Fort Myers, Florida on April 6th, 2025 from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I don't know if she's actually going to be hosting that whole time, but she'll be there that whole time, I'm sure, and be the MC. It's held at the Doubletree on Bell Tower Drive in Fort Myers. If you are going, make sure you say hi to Jacqueline for us and say, hey, I'm part of the Nintendo Dads community too. And we'd love to hear from you too if you go there and check it out. So, again, Charlie's Epicon, April 6th, 2025. Check it out if you're in the Fort Myers, Florida area. Also, there's something about C2E2. Look into that.
I think Roger mentioned something about that, and
Oh, yeah.
then
Okay.
Justin took that as that took notes to see if we can get somewhere
Oh,
involved in that.
yeah. For next year. That's right. Yeah. I remember he said we should be able to try to get into that because it was already coming up soon, right? In April. So we
I
wouldn't be
think
able to
so.
get into it this year, but try to get into it next year. All right, cool. PAX East update, as we mentioned, there's 3 out of the 4 dads going. We want Marty to go so bad, but just it wasn't in the cards for him to go this year. And we're running out of time. It was already hard for my daughter to try to find a room. Just if she was going to get on her own, but it worked out to where we were able to, figure out the room situation, and she was able to get her own room and all that fun stuff. So if you're trying to get into the NBC suites where we are at the Boston Airport one or whatever it's called there, I think the rooms are sold out. or they're becoming very limited, depending on how many people are staying in the room. So keep that in mind if you haven't booked your time there. If you're coming to hang out or want to come hang out with us at PAX East, please let us know so we can make sure we can say, hey, we're going to meet up here. One of the simplest ways we can meet up is in the hotel bar or restaurant that's at our hotel there at the Embassy Suites. But if we learn of anything easier or better to do, we'll certainly do that. So, but we'll keep you posted. But we won't know what to do unless we know if you're going to come hang out with us. So make sure you leave a comment. We do have a channel on our Discord, and you can get in our Discord, of course, if you are a Patreon as well. So again, I think that's all the PAX East updates I have. Do you have anything, Jesse, you want to add to that?
I can't think of anything else. Sounds like you covered it all.
All right, cool. We got a couple questions that we
Well,
got in.
I guess we'll say we're planning on doing our traveling Thursday, being there Friday, Saturday, and then traveling home on Sunday.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
are not going to be there for all 4 days.
Correct. Thank you for that. Again, thanks for clarifying. Yeah, because I'm driving, I'm probably going to be the one that's there the latest on Thursday. You guys are flying, so you'll probably be earlier. So unless something changes. But
Like
yeah,
you
we're, I'm
mentioned, I don't remember when my flights are. I wanted to check.
all right. While he's checking on that, we'll jump into the questions here. The first one is, do you St. Patty's Day? Do
I
you
do
have any
not.
plans for St. Patty's Day? Is what it really says. No
No,
turning your beard green. No drinking some
no,
green beer.
no. I don't like normal beer, much less trying to color it.
One of the things I'm thankful for that I was able to do, and not on my own, is I love Shamrock shakes at McDonald's, and that's the time of the year that I can get those, but I keep forgetting about it. But like last week, I think it was, my daughter got one and she didn't want any more of it. She likes it, but she didn't want to get, like she gets a little upset stomach sometimes if she drinks too much of a, milkshake. So she gave me the rest. So I at least got one, three quarters of a, of, of one of those shakes from McDonald's out of the way. So,
So apparently my flight lands in Boston at 11:30 at night, so I'll be a late arrival as well.
okay. All right. Yeah. So the Shamrock Shake I was able to have. That's my St. Patty's Day celebrations and plans. Trying to get one of those, and I also like a good mint Oreo Blizzard that they have right now too. Those are really good.
I might get one of those, but with I've been limiting my sweets intake to at most like one a week.
Yeah, that
And
that is that is tough, especially
I
when
did
you
have
go from.
I did have an ice creamer a few days ago.
Okay, well, it's a holiday though. Is there a special holiday rule for that?
Uh, no, not if I want to keep losing weight.
All right, that's fair. I don't want to be the person to try to take you away from that. So,
So I am down 30 pounds total from when I started.
congratulations. That is awesome. How do you
Just
feel
haven't.
about that? How do you feel about that?
I feel good, and I'm
Good.
hoping to lose more 30 pounds.
What? Well, while we're on this subject, what made you do this? Was it like a loved one kind of pushed you towards, hey, we're concerned about you, or was it just yourself? Like, I'm concerned about myself, or a combination?
Um, a little bit of both.
Okay.
A loved one was more concerned about my mental health than my physical health, and then so I'm like, okay, I need to fix both.
Okay. Yeah. I am on that road too. I think we talked about that before. Saw my therapist for the first time. Last time I mentioned it, I've been there already one other time, and I go again tomorrow. So I'm on that road for the therapy side of things, and I am inspired by what you're doing, Jesse. So I'm hoping to get motivated to try to do the same. Maybe not get a trainer yet, but I'm hoping to work my way up to that. So it's it's I'm inspired by what you're doing, so I'm hoping to be able to do the
Thank you.
same. So
Good luck.
thanks. All right, but yeah, as far as St. Patty's Day stuff goes, I don't have any plans for that. Um, my work did, and I was trying to get a lot of stuff done for that because we are in the restaurant business with software for restaurants. So that's why we were trying to get a lot of stuff done for that.
Oh yeah, with 313 today.
And that too. But that part we weren't so much, but we had a restaurant that wanted to try to use our newest software right away for this weekend.
Okay.
But that's the closest thing I'm getting ready for St. Patty's Day. And if I do anything, it's more spontaneous. So nothing planned. But if something comes up, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, my wife will be coming home from uh, Gulf War that on Monday. Not sure if it'll be near lunchtime or near dinner time or near midnight. I don't know what her driving schedule looks like yet. So I haven't really made any plans because I don't know if she's going to be when she's going to be home. If she's going to be up to do anything, she may just want to go home and crash.
Right.
Which, after driving for a day and a half, I would fully expect that.
Nice. I did you say Gulf War?
Gulf, like the Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All
that's
right.
that's the that's the event she's at right now.
Okay. Got it.
She left last
That
Thursday and will be coming home this coming Monday.
nice. Awesome. All right. The next question we got is from Koopa Kid 80, and I've been racking my brain on this one. I don't know if I'm going to be able to answer this one. Maybe you got something, but
I have
he
no idea what he's
asks,
talking about.
after playing Pipistrello and the Yo-Yo free demo on the Switch eShop and seeing the similarities to Mina and the Howler that has yet to be released from Yacht Club, what games do you think borrowed heavily for inspiration from other titles, but were still good in their own way? We'd love to hear your thoughts. So, actually, I did think of something. What I was mentioning earlier in regards to the Buckshot Roulette, how I felt it might have borrowed the aesthetics of the first act of Inscription.
Yeah,
I think it did it very well. I don't know if it's borrowed anything else, like the twist in the story, but I haven't gotten far enough to find that out. But the aesthetics definitely they did it very well, and it gives good. It's
yeah.
a good copy of that.
Apparently, the full name of the game is Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. Uh,
Okay,
it'll be released end of May on I think
and
every
the
system.
cursed yo-yo. Is that what you said?
Yeah, and the Cursed Yo-Yo.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna put that as a editor type um edit there. The cursed yo-yo free demo. Okay, interesting. I thought that was two different games.
Yeah, so did
Pipistrello
I. But
and the yo-yo free game demo.
it makes sense now that I've
Yes.
looked it up.
Okay. All right.
Uh,
But yeah, is there any game that you like I mentioned, like is there a game that was inspired by something else that's done pretty well? Or you
I,
felt did it pretty well?
I know there were. I can't remember what the name of the series is, but there's two games on this. That's I think it's also everywhere, but I played it on the Switch. That is, you know, very inspired by Link's Awakening. Um,
Blossom Tales?
yes,
Okay.
yes, that's those. I think there are two of those games, and
Yes.
I don't think I think I finished the first one, but I didn't finish the second one.
Okay. I've
I
heard good things
think.
about that too. I
Yeah.
actually probably own it. I think probably it's in my backlog as well. But yeah, Koopa Kid, that was a great question. I think that is something I had to really think hard on that one. There are others I'm sure that I've experienced. I did, but I couldn't. I was really racking my brain on
Yeah,
that one.
like Pizza Tower and what's the other one? Another one that came out recently.
I
Similar
don't
similar
remember.
gameplays. Looks like they're kind of inspired by
Yeah.
WarioWare or Wario Land. I mean,
I know
yeah,
exactly what you're talking about, but I don't know the name.
and,
I can't even.
and Talon Blast,
Oh, there you
actually.
go. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I think both of them, all of them are, run forward, do something, run back. Mecha
Okay.
Dragon says Bug Fables. That's a good one. That's from
Oh yeah.
Paper Mario.
Yes. That is a good one. I've heard a lot of people mention that. Including Mecca. I remember him mentioning that too. So,
Yeah, and I think he's still upset that I never got past the halfway point.
right.
I don't remember why I stopped. I just got, I don't know if I got stuck in something or what. But
Okay. Yeah, I know there's got to be other ones. I can't think of it right now. What I would love to see is somebody take the Burnout racing formula and come out with a new Burnout type game. There was supposed to be one coming out the Switch and it just dropped off the map by the people who made Burnout. I need, can you tell I want a new Burnout?
yeah, a little bit.
So, anyways, great questions from the community. Jesse, is there anything else you want to talk about before we end the show?
I just wanted to throw out there that we are 3 weeks away from the Switch 2 blowout episode.
Yes.
So again, I will be doing it from a hotel. I won't be home. So but I still plan on, watching it, taking the notes. So we have talking points. I just won't be able to produce that episode. Someone else will have to do that.
But you'll be able to join us on the call, right?
If I have good hotel internet, that's the plan.
Okay. What we might have to do is record it instead of streaming if that's going to be a problem for you. I mean, somebody
Yeah,
else might be able to stream it, but I don't know if
yeah.
that will
Well,
cause you to have an issue though.
yeah, we've done that before where we didn't stream
Yes.
the episode and just posted it. That'll worst case scenario, that'll work.
Because we could probably record on that day, like the second, and then post it on the third, right? Something we could talk about with the other dads. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So, oh no, wait, we have gaming dad as a guest on the third, so we can't do that unless
Right.
we see if he can come join us a little bit early. But we'll figure it out. Uh, well, I think I can record it like what I've done when you've been on vacation. So, I will never do as good as a job as you, but I can definitely record it, no problem.
So, yeah,
All right.
this is basically my you have 3 week warning to figure it out.
Okay, I'll get mentally prepared for it then. So, but we'll have to probably do it differently anyways. I can set it up just like what we do for when we're doing a live react.
Yeah.
And then that way we can have the video. I'll just use we can use Discord, but we're talking baseball here behind what they call it? Talking behind the scenes stuff. But anyways, if that's it, I'll close out the show. So first,
That's
a
it.
huge thanks to our Patreon producers, Dave Ernsberger, Jacqueline Amira, and our other 100 plus patrons. Next, a special thank you to our 17 Switch subscribers and over 1,461 Twitch followers. Did I say Switch subscribers? I meant Twitch. Twitch, it does whatever. And a shout out to our 7,917 YouTube subscribers. Thank you, everyone. We would not be here if it weren't for you. And I mentioned that earlier, too. Thank you to everyone, however you participate in the community. We appreciate everything. You're helping us keep the lights on and allowing us to do this trip to PAX East. So hopefully those who live in the area or who have the means to come join us, please do and let us know. Check out our website at nintendodads.org for a list of Nintendo Dads family of podcasts and our other recommended podcasts like the Star Wars Dads, the Mega Dads, the Dads Crossing show, the Retro Logic stuff, and their family of podcasts. Again, it's a mix of all of our recommendations and our family of podcasts, but go check that out. We also have our latest YouTube videos and tweets, links to all our social media, Patreon, and Extra Life pages. We do have a new Extra Life team set up, so if you want to join, come join us there again this year. We'll be doing stuff all year long because we have tabletop gaming coming up in April that you can get money, try to get people to donate for at that time. But we'll talk about that another time, hopefully. And don't forget, you got Nintendo Dads merch that you can go to by going also to nintendodads.org/merch and see all of our merchandise there. And don't forget to check out our sponsors like manscaped.com. Get 20% off your Manscaped order with free shipping with the code NINDADS. Email us at nintendodads@gmail.com. Or don't forget, we still take voicemails. Christian, where are you? You're our voicemail person. You can call us at 929-25-NDADS or 929-256-3237. Leave us a voicemail. We love those. We love hearing people's voices, especially new people who may just be lurking. It's time. Come join us. Come talk to us. Big thanks to the OC Remix for the music throughout the show, like the one you're hearing now, and download from your favorite podcast app of choice. And please leave us a 5-star review and a comment, especially on Spotify. Spotify is a great place to go to and leave us comments there because it doesn't matter what device you're on, you should be able to give us that 5-star review and comment. And like we used to say before, if you want to give us anything less, save it for the Mega Dads. You can give them a 2-star if you want. We'll take the 5 stars. For me, for Jesse, and a absent Marty and Justin, and all of our special guests that have been on the show before, we'll check you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
Do you smell something burning?
What's wrong with you?